What's up, guys? Tanner from DMV Access, and I am here with
Brad?
Corey.
Sweet. What band?
Safe to say.
Safe to say. Safe to say. Is it safe to say?
Don't do it.
Don't.
do it.
Don't even think
Don't
about
do it.
I'm just
Be
kidding.
that guy.
I don't want to be that guy. I think I'm a pretty cool person.
You seem like it.
Yeah.
You caught yourself.
I try to. Yeah. I try. So we are here, Warped Tour, 2016, Columbia, Maryland. How's the tour going so far?
It's wicked. It's like...
Here, I'll let you touch on it.
Yeah, let me touch on it. Let me talk. Get out of here. It's really cool because we're like one of the smaller bands on the tour. So it's kind of like an eye-opening to like being on the other side of the fence for Warped Tour. I grew up going to Warped Tour when I was like younger, like I was 13, 14, and stuff like that. And you have days where you're like beat because it's like such a grind. Like you have to work so hard. But at the end of the day, we kind of all just like hang out at nighttime with all the bands and just kind of appreciate the fact like we're playing the Vans Warped Tour. Like this is like really
Pretty surreal.
Yeah, it's like an absolute privilege. So it's really cool. I can't complain at all.
Yeah. Must feel really cool, like to like notice like, oh, I used to stand in that certain place during Warped, yeah, and now I'm up here. Yeah, that must feel really, 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 really cool.
Yeah.
So, also being on tour, what's maybe some of the toughest things about it?
I'll touch on that. So I guess like a day-to-day tough thing is waking up. Yeah, like this is what we're sharing a bus with a band called Like Pacific. They're also from Canada, where we're from, Toronto, Canada. And so every night there's like a bus call, and it's like the recommended time you should leave to have enough time to get to the next place. And we kind of treat that as like it's like when we're going to leave. But we usually go to bed maybe 10, 15, 30 minutes after that, depending on how late or early it is. But we don't realize that you have to be up at like 7 a.m. the next day. So it's like tonight, bus call, it might be 2 a.m. So it's like, cool, we get to hang out late. We get to hang out with all these people. We're going to have a lot of fun. But then you get 5 hours of sleep. And the next day, it's really hard to wake up. And for anyone that's done Warped Tour in the past, they know that it's like you wake up, you work, and then you kind of go to bed. And there's not much time for anything else. And even at night when you're like hanging out with people, there's still like cool networking opportunities, and you get to just meet like really cool people that play in really cool bands that you've looked up to for years, kind of thing. So the hardest thing for me day to day is waking up. But after you kind of get over that hump and you have breakfast, yeah, it's all good except for the heat. The heat and waking up, those are the two things.
Yeah, you guys are from. People give me hell for pronouncing it, but Canada. They give me hell for it. It's probably a lot colder
Man, like,
up there compared to here.
We have friends in bands that have done Warped Tour before, and they all say like, you know, like it's a lot of work. You gotta talk to a lot of people. It's hot. Blah 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 blah, and you kind of ignore when they say it's hot, and then you get here and you realize like that's like the most important thing. Like it's so fucking hot. Especially like down in like the southern states, like down in Florida and Texas and stuff like that. We were not ready for it.
It's a pain.
Oh, yeah. I brought like not the appropriate amount of shorts and t-shirts. I brought like sweaters and jeans because that's what it's like back home.
And pants right now, and so this is the true test of it.
You're not the only one. It's okay. But yeah. So what's some of the bands you were looking forward to seeing beforehand?
I was looking forward to seeing Old Wounds. They're a hardcore band that's playing on our stage that has come to Canada a few times that I've seen. So that I was really excited to see them on this tour because it's like so not their setting. The Main is a band that like I've been kind of a fan of, but never like paid to see the Main or anything like that. And every day it's like a treat to watch that band play, which is really cool. And again, also being Canadian, Sum 41 is like. That's like the coolest thing. Yeah, it's like you grew up as a Canadian kid, and Sum 41 is like the poster boys for like punk rock in your country. So it's cool to be on the same tour as them right now.
That must be really cool. Like seeing like Derek every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh hey, like it's a normal thing.
It's like since we can remember, we've been listening to Sum 41.
Yeah.
Like quite literally. Like that is like the first kind of music when, like you're like, I don't know, 7 or 8 kind of thing, and you start to have a little bit of a say. Like you know enough words to be like, I like this kind of music. Sum 41 was definitely up there because it was like
I think the first show I ever played in my life was my talent show in grade 7, and I covered Fat Lip by Sum 41 with my first band. So like it's pretty surreal now to be like doing this with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Was it cool to see them play Fat Lip?
It's always cool to see them play Fat Lip.
I've never seen them live, but hopefully I get to see them. I personally like Sum 41 as well, because again, they're like one of the originators of like pop punk and
Yeah, exactly.
all that. So it's really, really, really cool to see them still kicking, and they've been around for a while. Same with like New Found Glory and all them. So was it hard creating the set list for this year?
Not really. I wouldn't say it was hard. It's interesting because it's Warped Tour, and our kind of music, if you're familiar with it, isn't necessarily like. We have some stuff that appeals a little bit more to the Warped Tour crowd, and some stuff that's more, I guess, what we would call like our Safe to Say kind of sound. And so it did take a little bit more thought than normal, because it's not like, hey, these people are all coming to our show to watch Safe to Say play, so they know what they're getting into. But with that being said, like, this band's been around for a while, so we have a lot of songs to choose from, and yeah, no, I don't think it was too tough. And the set list we play, we've reorganized it a couple times on the tour, and where it's at now is like, it's awesome. I have so much fun playing every single day.
So after Warped, what's next for you guys?
So the day that this tour finishes, I think it's in Portland, Oregon. Us and 4 Year Strong and Like Pacific are going to be driving up to British Columbia, Canada. And then we have like a cross Canada tour to come home, which will be very, very nice to do. That's another band that I kind of grew up listening to in high school and stuff like that. So that should be very, very neat. And it's like, it's Canada, so we get to be home. We finally get to be home and like play club shows, and we don't have to like suffer outside, and we don't have to compete with like 70 bands every day. It'll be nice to kind of just have a little bit more attention on the band and relax a little bit. And after that, I think we'll all be very excited to go home and rest for a little bit, 'cause it's a long summer.
Before we wrap it up, anything you would like to say to your fans?
So in 6 days, we release a brand new full-length record. It's called Down in the Dark. It'll be released through Side One Dummy worldwide and New Damage Records in Canada. We put a lot of work into it. 3 months of Brad sleeping on my couch in Ottawa.
It's okay.
Working on it every single day. No, and it was a great experience. I mean, at the time it was a little bit stressful, and Brad probably wanted to kill me. But yeah, it was great. We recorded and mixed the whole record ourselves as a band. The album art we created ourselves. Kind of the goal we had is to create our own album kind of thing, and just have it be us, have us be in complete control of it. And like, I'll take this opportunity to thank our team kind of thing that's been supporting us, because they let us do that and they believed in us, which is really, really cool. They let us be as creative as we want to be, and take as long as we want to take. And
I think we were supposed to have our deadline for like April 1st, and we started in January, and I don't think we finished like wrapping everything up until like officially wrapping things up until like right before this tour started. So we missed the deadline, but it was worth it, and everyone was really supportive of it, so that was cool. So yeah.
So yeah, check out the album. It comes out in 6 days.
From July 16th, 6 days. So
Yes.
I'm not good at math.
July 22nd. July 22nd is the release.
July 22nd. All right. So I don't know when this is gonna be coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out them.
The Safe to Says.
Safe to Says from Canada. Hey. So yeah. See you guys later. Tanner from DMV Access. See you guys later.